right, mga kaibigan, we're back, and thank you very much for listening. We are here with Senator Will Espero of the 19th District. And thank you very much, Senator, for being here and sharing with us your illustrious experience and knowledge of our local government. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. I certainly appreciate this opportunity to be here. I'd also like to mention two other areas that I'm working on in this interim.
Sure.
One of them is the Hawaii Impaired Driving Task Force. And this is the task force. Our primary objective is to secure federal funds to help on highway safety issues. And as many...
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yes.
What is impaired driving?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is drunk driving. It could be drunk driving.
I see. That's how you call it.
Right.
Impaired. Okay.
It could be, prescription drugs. People who are even tired can be impaired, right?
Oh, really?
Yes.
I was thinking maybe those people who have maybe vision problems, or would that also be?
I don't know if it would be impaired per se.
If they can't see, they shouldn't drive.
Exactly. Although, as you may know, Google is developing a car that blind people can, a driverless car. Is that? Have you heard about that?
I've heard about it.
Yes.
Waiting for it.
So there may be a time where
you wouldn't need.
You won't need, exactly. And I believe that they're looking at some locations to eventually have some test sites.
Interesting.
And Hawaii would be a nice location to try to do that if we can. But this task force, again, its primary objective is to secure federal monies that could help in safety initiatives and safety programs and services, whether it's via schools or the police or even the Department of Transportation or our transportation agencies. And of course, pedestrian safety is a big issue there as well, because
Absolutely.
We've been having some major increases in our pedestrian fatalities, as well as drunk driving in many of our communities. That is a big problem today.
Got to stop that, Senator, as much as we can. Deter.
Right. And the other group the final one I want to mention is the Hawaii Juvenile Justice Working Group. Last session, or in 2012, we passed legislation dealing with the adult justice system, and we called that the Justice Reinvestment Initiatives, where we did improvements or reforms to our parole, probation, and pretrial detention, basically bail system. And it's intended to get our prisons less full, because they are overcrowded. However, we want to put people in programs and community-based services where they don't need incarceration, but just need assistance and help and consistent monitoring.
I have a question, Senator? Would passing the marijuana law, allowing a certain amount of marijuana to be legal, would that help in decreasing the volume of detained individuals in prison?
Well, in terms of the marijuana, there's not too many people who are in prison just because of a marijuana offense.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, most of them are in prison. They may be on marijuana and alcohol and other drugs. However, they're committing another offense like theft, burglary, or assault.
It's not just the fact that they have marijuana; it's the fact that they're on marijuana doing bad things.
Right, or other substances.
Sure,
right.
Sure. I see.
Right.
Okay, go ahead, Senator.
But going to that, nobody in the state of Hawaii is talking about legalization of marijuana. However, there's been discussion about decriminalizing marijuana.
I'm sorry, decriminalizing.
Right. Yes,
that was
yes.
the word. Yeah, not legalization.
Right. Yeah. But our Hawaii Juvenile Justice Working Group is looking at the juvenile justice system, because today we're spending per youth on an annual basis approximately $200,000 a year to incarcerate that youth. And that's just too much money.
That's way too much money, Senator.
Now, this is
how many of them?
Well, the good news is it's less than 100.
Oh,
Okay. However,
still a lot.
yes, we need to get it to under 50, and just look at reforms and ways where these individuals can be with their families or be in a support group that is not in an institution behind bars, and that's the group home out in the windward side. So eventually we'd like to close that if we can, and deal with our youth in a much more compassionate, humane way.
You think parents have a lot to do with it? I mean, the youth, they can blame, like, I got with the wrong gang, I got with the wrong this, but don't you believe, or
To a degree.
to a degree,
To a degree,
you know,
because there are many factors
hmm
that contribute to,
because we're talking about juveniles here, we're not
right,
talking about adult
right.
offenders.
And there are many factors involved in juvenile delinquency,
Hmm.
and to say, well, parents should be better parents is not necessarily true,
Hmm.
because
Hmm. There's many
there's
factors.
so many things
That's true.
that you don't tell your parent, right?
Me? A lot of things I don't tell my
And
parents.
sometimes kids don't reach out to their parents,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, it's a society issue.
Sure.
It's an issue, in my opinion, that we have to deal with in the schools. We have to deal
Yes.
with more activities like Little League, sports,
Sure. I'm all for that,
Boys
man.
and
More
Girls Club.
activities.
Why?
Yeah.
And if we could keep our youth engaged, I think
Keep
that's a
them out of
start.
trouble.
That's a start,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But there are some evil, bad elements out there. The online, the internet, for example. The internet is such a strong benefit and value to humanity overall. Yet there are people who take that internet and try to to be greedy and abuse people
And
and
harm
take
people.
advantage. Exactly. So
Thank you for bringing up that point about the internet. There's been talks about regulating or even taxing the internet. Is there is that something in our horizon? Because that's something I really don't want.
I don't expect anything soon. Like you
Hmm.
said, there's been talk,
Yeah,
and
I've read some.
it would
Yeah,
be more on a federal level if
that
that were to
happens.
be done.
Hmm.
So something that would have to be taken up if it ever were in Congress
Okay.
and in Washington D.C.
Okay. All
But
right.
yes,
Nice you put that in perspective that it's the federal government's responsibility. What about now the GMO? I know you're not on the agriculture. I had Senator Nishihara here before. So this whole GMO issue, Senator, what is your stand on that as far as labeling and the use of pesticides, particularly in Kauai and the other areas where we have a lot of agriculture?
well, in terms of the use of pesticides, I don't have any problems with the use of pesticides, because pesticides have been used for decades and decades, not only in the United States but internationally.
Hmm.
What's important is that they are properly tested by government agencies, which they are, and the pesticides do help the farmer and can improve yields and help with the economic viability of agriculture. In terms of GMO labeling, I'm open to the discussion on that. I mean,
Good,
we
good,
do
good answer,
we do a
Senator.
lot of labeling right now,
Yes,
and
they do at Whole Foods.
yes,
And they started to do it at the other place, the other organic place, Down to Earth.
down there.
Yeah, they
Yes,
sell.
yes.
I get some organics as much as I
Okay.
can.
But GMO saved the Hawaii papaya industry.
Hmm.
At one point in time, there was that ring disease. I forgot the name of it, but the papaya industry had collapsed.
Mhm.
And thanks to research and development and testing and science, they were able to create a papaya that is resistant to many of these diseases and problems. And now today, our papaya industry is a multi-million-dollar industry. And
Yeah.
so
They taste really good too.
exactly. So I
Especially
think
with calamansi, yeah,
I don't have any problem with the discussion on labeling. The one thing we don't want to do is that there are some people who think GMO is just plain and simply bad and evil, and And
Well, that's what Senator Nishihara was saying. He doesn't want to label it because people think that it's bad. So when you put a label on it, automatically it's bad.
but
You know, so, and it's not necessarily bad because it's done
right.
some great things.
And I'm not an expert on this. However, I've read the material that both the opponents and the proponents of GMO have given me. And this is also an issue that's being discussed at the federal level.
Yes,
So you have
that's right.
the EPA, you have
Mhm.
the Food and Drug Administration,
Department of
you have
Agriculture.
the Department of Agriculture, you have
Mhm.
the Department of Health.
Mhm.
And if there were a problem with GMOs, we would know about it and hear about it. And I'm just of the opinion that it's
You want
not
to take a caller?
sure.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is going to be relating to the topic, but we can try it.
Let's try.
All right. And KPHI, you're on the air.
Hi, this is Sabrina from Gustafson Real Estate. I was returning a phone call regarding a house in Nanakuli.
You're on the live radio show. I think you got the wrong number.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, at least they're listening.
Okay. Well,
Anyway.
if anyone knows anything about a house in Nanakuli,
That's the one to go.
Someone's trying to reach you.
All right, Senator, we have to take another break here, and then when we come back, let's talk about your bid for the upcoming seat there that's going to be open for the U.S. Congress.
Very good, Alan.
Okay,
Thank you.
we'll take a break and when we come back. Don't go away, mga kaibigan. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan na importante and to learn more about Senator Espero. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Allan Alvarez on the radio, KPHI 96.7 FM. Hawaii's hot Filipino hits. It's the Midday Show with Allan Alvarez.